Hello and welcome to Conversations in Sunglasses. I am your host, Glenn Clark. I'm also this episode's very special guest because it's my birthday, and so I thought, why not have a conversation in sunglasses with myself? Because I miss talking to myself. I used to talk to myself all the time. I make these other videos. My arm has dirt on it. I had some car trouble on the way home. It was fun. Drinking fake coffee out of a BB-8 mug. It used to be my mother's BB-8 mug. She's dead now, so it's mine. I didn't kill her for the BB-8 mug. Um, anyway, so it's my birthday. I am 27 years old again. It's genetic. My grandfather died of old age at age 27. Um, it happens. It happens if you stay 27 long enough. Nick Aston always tells me I'm going to, in there, when I die, if I die, let's make that a big if. Um, they're going to put in my obituary that I OD'd on 27th birthdays. I'm good with that. That will be the cause of death. Unless I'm eaten by a shark or some other kind of horrible fish. So I used to talk to myself all the time. Sometimes I still do. Well, that's more talking to the camera. I'm just chattering. I'm just chattering. So I'm not really talking to myself. I'm talking to y'all, which is what I do on these other videos that I was about to mention called I Can't Sleep, where I just sit up and ramble with insomnia. I enjoy those videos. But, sometimes I talk to with two roommates. Um, it's hard to actually have a good conversation with myself without being overheard and declared insane. Though they'd be a curious pair to talk if they declared me insane. um, Chase is in his room right now screaming at 11-year-olds. He's always playing the video games and yelling. He's always yelling. I just had to go close his door. Uh, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's having fun. What do you think, self? I don't know. I don't, maybe he enjoys being angry. Maybe he just likes to be mad at someone and get his anger out like 11-year-olds on the internet. That's where he does it because they can't defend themselves. And he has a lot of anger at something or someone in his life that he can't express in a healthy manner. So he does something that he doesn't enjoy just to get mad. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's got to enjoy it on some level, or he wouldn't, get a punching bag or just become an asshole. Like someone else we know who's just, that's how they get their petty anger out. Um, like everyone knows people like that who are just petty, but that's not Chase. Chase isn't petty. He's got a blind rage that comes out in video games, and I don't know. I wouldn't want to play with him because he's mean in those video games. But I like him. He's entitled to scream at people on the internet. I just want him to be happy, and he doesn't seem happy. Um I if I'm playing a video game that makes me that angry, I'm not going to keep playing it. Well, yeah, but you don't play video games anyway, like ever. And they did used to piss you off and you still liked them, right? You like Castlevania. Mom used to say that game made you evil. That game did not make me evil. That was a frustrating game. The first Castlevania on the NES, like one time I I played that game and you didn't have infinite continues back in the 1880s when I was playing that game. Um you had like a few lives and you could get some extra lives as you went on, but once you ran out of those, game over. You have to start from the beginning. There's no saving your game. So I got all the way to the end of the first Castlevania. I was fighting Dracula. I had all these extra things so I could keep going. And I was going to beat him. I was going to beat him, but I had to go to school. And I mean, I left that thing on for days. It was on pause when I went to school, and I'd come back and try to kick Dracula's butt. And came home from school one day. Yeah, yeah. I remember that was a day to be pissed off, right? Because mom turned off the switch. Turned off the light switch, and that turned off the video game system. That turned off the NES. And I never beat Castlevania because you can't save. But this is my BB-8 mug now, mom. This is my BB-8 mug. I love my mom really, but she is dead. That's true. That's a strange life choice she made to be in another in another realm. I mean, she didn't exactly choose it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're speaking for like the voice in my head that's worried about like people judging my demented sense of humor, but I overpower you. This part of me, whatever I am, overpowers you. Um, because I don't care what people think. That's why I'm putting on sunglasses in my house to have a conversation with you and recording it, and I'm gonna put it on the internet and be very no cares given about it. Like I wouldn't even say I'm proud of it, but um so so let's have the kind of conversation we normally have. Wait, what time is it? Has it been an hour yet? I don't want to do this for an hour. I try to time these at like 30, 40 minutes. I can't see. I can't see because I got these shades on. Also, I'm blind. Um, Not really. I'm not blind. I just my eyes have turned 27 a few times more than the rest of me, perhaps. Well, I mean, usually you'll pose some question to me when you're wandering around the house, just talking to me. Um, like something about the cosmos or time and space and or He-Man. What's wrong with you really? I don't know. Or people like petty people uh taking you off these days. Um yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about people like generally, maybe like generally people. I don't get it. I don't get, it's I call it the mean girls mindset. Like I don't understand it. But and it's probably not limited to girls. I just personally in my friendships haven't experienced it with guys. So my brain calls it the mean girls syndrome or whatever, like where you just because I mean, yeah, so like you just try to hurt people and pretend like you don't know. Like I don't understand that. Like it irks me, but it's not the act that ticks me off. It's that it's the intention that someone wants to hurt you, it makes it that's what hurts. It's not what they do, it's that they do it. Um, but yeah, I mean that's all. I don't want to talk about that though. Um, because that's like an all the time people are out there being buttholes to everybody, and it sucks to witness. Like I've mostly in my life witnessed the mean girl treatment being employed on others, where they do things like they'll invite everyone but one friend to do a thing in front of the one friend and then play it off all innocent, like that kind of thing. Or they'll deliberately, like, okay, you know who was a mean girl? My grandma was a mean girl. This is a true story. And yeah, we can talk about this now because she's having a tea party with your mom. This is true. And I love them both dearly. They are the dearly departed. But my grandma was a mean girl. She enjoyed hurting people, and she'd play it all. You know, like, why am I so bitter? Why am I so bitter today? Because it's your birthday and you hate holidays. I know, right? Like I was thinking about this on the way home. If I could hibernate from October 8th to December 8th, I would be so happy. Because, everybody's dead. Everybody is dead. Like the party is in the afterworld and I'm left out. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a bit of FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out. Right, I got that right. Um, Not really though, but I mean, holidays suck. My birthday sucks. Every year, it's like I'm just here, I guess. Like I'll have a get together or something this weekend, but my actual birthday, nobody's doing anything with me. That's what, like, I'm right here having a conversation with myself on the internet. One might even consider this a nervous breakdown, but it's not. It's not like just legitimately. Well, no, I had someone. Dude, I'm so bitter right now. I know it's kind of great. Keep going. Have a meltdown. It'll be fun. It'll go down in your history or something. I don't know. Plus, I hate you. I know. I hate you too. Um, so, but I also love you. It's a love-hate thing. It really, really is. Because I really love you, man. You're like my favorite person. I totally made a website dedicated to everything you do. You're just awesome. You're just great. But I kind of hate you still. I mean, it's I feel passionately about you. Same, same. All right. So, what were we talking about? And should I continue? I don't know. I think you were talking about mean girl, like your grandma was a mean girl. Like I no, I feel like I have to say good things about my grandma if I'm going to talk about what a mean girl she was, but she did teach people to gossip and like to play people against each other. Like her kids, man, like try to make people feel like favoritism, I guess. Like she would weaponize favoritism, which I don't know if there's any other way to do favoritism, but I mean, it's one thing to have your favorites, it's another thing to rub it in people's faces. Like, look, you're not my favorite. This one is. But yeah, it's ridiculous and absurd, and I don't respect it at all. But like, okay, so grandma, like she was really nice to me when I was a little kid. Like she was generally really nice to me. It was more like I would watch her be a mean girl to other people. Like I said, I mostly witnessed the mean girl treatment being done to others. Oh, text message. from someone trying to sell me something. Um, but like, yeah, so good things like, she taught me how to hold an apple while eating it, all the while telling me what terrible parents I had. Okay, now I'm trying to say nice things about grandma. Like, when my sister was born, she came to town, took me out. We saw the Jungle Book. Like, we sat through it twice. Um, the animated Disney Jungle Book. Um, she introduced me to Raiders of the Lost Ark. I watched that at her house when I was a little kid. I was scared for months, and it was my favorite movie at that after that. And I still, to this day, love Indiana Jones. I love every Indiana Jones movie. Crystal Skull made me like um appreciate Temple of Doom, because I used to not like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom so much. It was more like it had its moments, and there was the nostalgia factor of I saw it when I was like 9. But I mean, the secret is I'm 9 years old every time I go to the movies. So that's why I don't get all Gen X bitter about the movies. Like, every time they update the Star Wars movies, I'm excited to see what they fixed. Like, I like blinking Ewoks. I think that's great. Um, but yeah, so I wouldn't have become an Indiana Jones fan if not for grandma. I wouldn't, my other grandma, my mom's mom, introduced me to Star Wars. She was the family's original Star Wars nerd. Like, so I got a lot from my grandma. It's like, my paternal grandmother read me some Mark Twain. Like, she loved to read. Both of my grandmothers were voracious readers. My grandma would make me a pumpkin pie every year and carve a G into it. Like, at Thanksgiving or whatever, when we didn't live in Houston with the rest of the family. We lived in Garland and Dallas. So when I came to town, I had my own pumpkin pie because that was my favorite. There'd be a G in it. That was grandma. But geez, she was mean to my sister. But she was so mean to my sister all the time. I always called her fat. And she wasn't even fat. Like, my sister thought she was fat for her entire childhood because of grandma. Um and yeah, like, she was just so mean to my sister. And even when she started losing her mind, like, my sister was horrified. I was just taking it par for the course. Just, oh, grandma's gone bye-bye. I mean, because she started saying crazy, terrible things about her son Glenn's kids. My dad has my name. Uh, he stole it from me 25 years before I was born. But I let him keep it when I showed up. I mean, whatever. Um, but yeah, so grandma, like, my sister and I went to go visit her. Like, 2004 was the year like everyone died. Like, it was one of the years that everyone died. There's not many people left. Like, but 2004, a whole lot of people left the show, so to speak. So we were down there for my uncle Larry's funeral. And I went to go see grandma, and turns out she'd lost her damn mind since last we'd seen her. Um, and it became very obvious to me because of the way over the top crazy things she was saying about me and my sister without knowing who we were. She had no idea who we were, even though she did for a minute, and then she forgot and just thought we were these children who came to see her. We're adults at the time. Um, but then, my sister's sitting there horrified because she's used to grandma saying terrible things about her to her face. But I'm like, I'm going to test a theory. So I asked her about one of our cousins. Same thing. She starts saying all of this terrible stuff about him, his brother, his parents. But the thing is, it was crazy talk. Like there was some tiny little grain of truth to it, but there was this crazed conspiracy theory coming out that just had zero basis in reality. Like she didn't even have the facts straight. And it's like she was talking like she didn't know. She, in fact, claimed never to have known their father, one of her sons. And he was kidnapped from her by her mother-in-law. And like, so I'm sitting there thinking, theory validated, grandma is insane. Grandma has left the building, but she left the lights on or something. Like she's there, but she's gone. So I was able to point that out to my sister when we left. It's like, no, okay, like compare what she said about us to what she said about our cousins. Was what she said about our cousins anything that even grandma as a mean girl would have thought? Were she sane? No. Then she had Alzheimer's as it turned out and lasted for 10 horrible years. I don't want to go that way, you know. Yeah. I don't want to go that way either. It was pretty bad. But she hopefully by the time we get there to that age or whatever, we've turned 27 enough times that we could possibly get loopy and start having conspiracy theories about our relatives, not knowing we're talking to them while we're telling them these conspiracy theories. I mean, hopefully there will be things in place. Like, I mean, they've developed things like microchips they can put in your brain and kind of overrides the plaqued over neural pathways. Who knows? Yeah, I know. There's a lot of hope for that what happened to grandma can't happen to us. Um, our generation. I'm not talking about us like we're two people, my precious. But this is going to be the most insane conversations in sunglasses I've ever done. Um, so grandma, she like she was never really mean to me except when she went insane and didn't know she was being mean to me, and it didn't count because she was insane. Um, and also like my cousin Ori and I spent the night over there uh one time at my grandma's house, and she made us go she made us go break off a good switch off of the bush in front of her house. And we hadn't done anything wrong. Like that is the point, in fact. You realize I was there. You realize I was there. You're literally talking to the camera. Well, I'm reminiscing. You remember this story, right? Obviously, I remember this. Are you sure you haven't gone bye-bye? If I've gone bye-bye, you've gone bye-bye. We've gone bye-bye. We've gone bye-bye before, but we came back. We always come back. This is not crazy. This is called processing. Processing is healthy. It's healthy to talk to yourself. Intelligent people talk to themselves. And so do we, my precious. I got to stop that. Anyway, so she made us break off a switch, a big long whipping switch from the bush in front of her house. And then she whipped us with it to show us what would happen if we were bad while we were staying at her house. Oh, why is the camera going all blurry? It's grandma. She's pissed. It's okay, grandma. You know this happened. If that's your ghost making the camera all blurry, hold on. I don't know. This is what the world looks like to me when I'm not wearing my readers. That's what this is. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Oh, oh, there we go. Okay. So anyway, but she also made us a really big breakfast, like let us dig a giant hole to the other side of the earth in her backyard. It was that we were trying to get to China and also looking for dinosaur bones. We were children and we were brilliant. Um, she let us do that. She let us dig up her whole yard. She did bird watching with. See, I'm balancing. I'm more than balancing this. I'm telling you way more good things about grandma than toxic things. It's just the toxic things are where the funny's at. Like she had all these bird watching books. It was cool. And we go out in her backyard and she'd be like, okay, now that, let's look up this bird. I thought it was cool. Anyway, so, but the biggest mean girl moment I ever experienced from my grandma was, that I'm willing to discuss on the internet. Um, like when my first novel came out, she like shunned me. Like I tried to show her, wanting her to be proud of me because you want your grandma to be proud of you when you write a novel and publish it. And she said not one word to me. She turned up her nose like a cartoon character and just walked right past me like I'd said nothing. She wanted to hurt me. That's mean girl behavior. I don't like it. I don't respect it. There's a lot I respect about my forebears. That's not one of the things. Um, because that's just mean. Um, yeah. But like it's gotta be like her dad. She had bad blood with her father, with Granddaddy Slade for many reasons. Like he was an interesting father from what I've heard. And like from what I've heard, she didn't even want to go see him when he died. Because like he left, like she was graduated high school or whatever, turned 17 or 18. Her mother died when she was very young. And he just moved out of state. He's like, well, you're on your own, girl. You're grown now. Goodbye. Right, right. So she comes by it honestly. Like, you're right. Like, I think, her, I have a lot of his genes. Like, I think he wrote a book and published it back in like 50 years before I did. Like, exactly 50 years before I did. And so she probably was associating the two of us. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm not him. I feel like when your grandson writes a novel and publishes a novel, you should be proud of him. Um, I don't know. So Mean Girls, yeah, they suck, and I don't want to talk about them. Like, why aren't we talking about like time and space. I don't know. I am kind of bitter, but it's my birthday, so I tend to go crazy on significant days because everyone is dead. Like, yeah, like no one's baking me a cake. It's just kind of it drives it home that everybody's dead. And then what? You got Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, all of those are horrible. They're horrible. Um, and I just don't want to be here when those days come up. So yeah, if I could check out October 8th and come back to January 8th, no one's talking about New Year's anymore. Mm-mm. All of that, all the holidays, the big holidays, done, over. And then somehow be in another country on the 4th of July. That would be good too. Because I don't like being so alone on those days. Like, and what's the dirt? I gotta wash my arm. I didn't even realize I got my arm dirty until I started this. But I love my grandma. She was cool and crazy. Like my whole family's crazy, myself included. I'm not pretending to be sane. you you're really not. It's true. I admire you for that. I do. I admire you for many things. Same. I admire you too. We should go out sometime. I think you're maybe getting a little crazy. Am I though? Yes, leave me alone. Okay, fine. Anyway, so right, so I kind of just want to escape the world and humanity. It's a fun place to be, and the world's at war, blowing up. Like I don't know what I think about humans lately. Maybe that's why I didn't want like another guest. Um, I just wanted to be alone. I just want to be alone because I am alone at the moment, except for my two little angels with their drinking and smoking problems. They're young for those habits, but there you go. I mean, the world did this to them. The world did this to them. Now they're like these baby angels, no pants, sitting there smoking, drinking. That's what the world's coming to. That's gonna be me in the afterlife, probably. Like that's how those their face. That's how I feel about just the human experience right now. Just how can I escape and just roll my eyes and look away to the clouds and just like let it all go. Let it all go. But I mean, no, crazy. We're not crazy. It's we aren't crazy, my precious. Uh, it's yeah, this is processing. It's important. Crazy was back. Look, I feel like I got better in May. I snapped out of my actual crazy. Um, stopped like wanting to kill myself all the time. Like my last attempt at a suicide note turned into a novel. Well, a novella. It was a novella. Um, that had it was crazy. Like I sat down to write a suicide note And instead I created these characters and they went off on a little adventure, and that one's coming out next year. That was I'm not now I'm talking to you, the viewers, the 14 or so viewers watching my mental collapse on a regular basis. That book comes out next year. It is called I Wrote This Novella When I Was Insane. It's aptly titled. There's like literally, like when you read it, there's nothing else I could have called it that would have been accurate. And I really like it. Like I've read that book so many times. It's really cathartic to read it because it's just so crazy. It's just so free of everything that caused it, I guess. But at the same time, it's not. It's poisoned by it. Like these two characters are dealing with my insanity. I really love that book. Cannot wait to publish it next year. Um, but yeah, so there you go. Everybody's crazy, including me. But I'm like, I feel like I'm healthy crazy. Does that make sense to you? It does. It does. Yeah, healthy crazy. Where it's more like you're uninhibited by social expectation, but you're aware of it. You're aware of social expectation, but it doesn't stop you from expressing honestly and openly and being who you are. I mean, case in point, this. Like, what is conversations in sunglasses? Why do you make people wear sunglasses? Like, what even is this? Well, it's supposed to be stupid. Like, I don't know. It's my sense of humor. I don't care if people get it. It's supposed to be silly and just having fun with people who I like to have conversations, have silly conversations with. And you're one of those people. Myself, you're one of my favorite people to have silly conversations with, but also deep conversations. Um, like yeah, like we just processed the grandma was a mean girl. Um, while laughing about it. Um, I mean, she's a lot meaner to other people, but I was well aware of it. Um, yeah. All right. So this is processing. Though I guess what I'm saying is I am not crazy to the point of I'm sitting down to write a suicide note that's going to turn into a novel. Um, it's going to turn into a brilliant novel. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was brilliant. I had no idea where that thing was going ever when I sat down to writing it. It's like when I got down, that's when I'd sit down and write a chapter three of that novel until the crazy was not going to hurt me anymore. Um, but like, I just get a little messed up over the big holidays, but I'm not like suicidal. I'm not there. I do think about running away sometimes, like just running away. Um, and not having to deal with anything, like not even having to watch people go to like two Thanksgiving dinners. I'm like sitting here in the dark. My stomach's growling right now. I guess your stomach's growling too. We have the same stomach. Now, that's something you can't say to most of your friends. Most of them can't say we've got the same stomach. We're pretty close. Um, but right, so I'm in a good place. I just needed someone to talk to. And it was time. It was time to do a conversations in sunglasses because this goes up tomorrow. And I had someone to I did ask who said no. Um, and I had someone I was going to ask that I was afraid would say no, and I couldn't take it today. So I couldn't take rejection today, or that I was afraid wouldn't even respond. Because not everybody wants to get on the internet and be really silly, as it turns out. No one wants to do, a lot of people don't want to do this. Like, they don't want to be seen by the world doing this, even though I'm like, look, I have 25 subscribers. I used to have 26, but I just kept putting videos up. So now I only have 25. Um, like if I'd stopped making videos, I'd still have 26 subscribers. So it's no big deal. It's just fun, you know? It's just fun. I like recording, having fun with my friends so that I can watch it and it will be there. And those conversations we had while wearing sunglasses will always be there. And when one of us is gone, we can look back and we can relive the kind of conversations that we used to have. That's why I do this. And there are some people I want to do this with who just are too self-conscious about it. I don't blame them for it. I think you have whoa. I think you have to lose your mind once or twice in life in order to really live, like to be free, to kind of I don't know, what am I trying to say? To to really look at your priorities, like at the things you give power over you in your life. Like that has a lot to do with why you lose your mind, right? It's the things that you give power over you that crush you. But you're the one feeding that beast. You're the one who's giving those things the power. Yeah, yeah. And when you lose your mind, like when you just break, like crack, then you can see that. You can see, oh, this thing crushed me. And then while you're lying there crushed, you have an epiphany and you're like, why did I give this thing so much weight that it could crush me? And so I think about things like that all the time, like things that I'm still giving weight that I don't want to give weight, and I'm pulling back on a lot of them now. Like since I came through that trial, let's call it, like the 10 years of hell that I went through, that eventually it made me lose my marbles and then have to fight to come back from that. Um, all without being put in the nut house, all on my own with some fictional characters. Like and some very good friends who didn't stop being there for us, for me. Stop talking about yourself in plural form, Glenn. Well, maybe if you stopped like coming over to this side of the microphone to reply to yourself, you would stop referring to yourself in plural form. Yeah, but that's not really fun. Like, I don't want to just like lecture people. I want to talk to myself, man. I always thought it would be fun to do conversations in sunglasses, talking to myself. Um, but I didn't see how it would be much different from an I can't sleep video. But this one is. This one is, right? I think so. Because you don't do this on I can't sleep videos. Plus, you usually just go into some really deep, weird place. You just literally start rambling in those videos. Like here we're doing counseling, which is what we do. It's what we do when we talk to ourselves pretty much. Is like it's a therapy session and it's a very effective one. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like, you know, because just talking it out with you, I'm realizing that, I said it out loud that I'm not being negatively affected by a big day the way that I would have been a year ago. I'm not as affected. I'm not as broken. I'm really healthily uncomfortable with big days. It's healthy sad. It's healthy crazy. It's, it's all good. Um, because, I'm still trucking along, getting this done, getting, publishing stuff done, like re-serializing the Chronicles of Nightfire, Texas. Oh my gosh, that was an ordeal. And it didn't go the way we planned it at all, but it's there and I really like it. I like it too. But, aside from the font formatting issues on the website, but I'm going to save that for a vlog. I'm going to vlog about that. I'm going to vlog today too. Why not? Why not? Um, because it's my birthday. I should vlog. Um, but yeah, like what I'm saying is I'm not slowing down. Like this having a kind of crappy birthday isn't slowing me down. Um, it just sucks, man. I don't like crappy birthdays, but everybody's dead or gone or mean or I don't know. Like, and anyone who's, well, back to Mean Girls, like anyone who's deliberately trying to hurt you isn't worth dwelling on, which I'm not. Um, because yeah, I got things to do. Even after we finish this little episode of conversations in sunglasses, got a lot to do. Um, there's like a bump on my neck. I don't know what that is. It's like a zit. I don't know. Anyway, did you ever see like that movie Frankenstein, like from 1931? Why are you asking me this? You know I've seen it. I'm you. I'm literally you. Don't come unglued. You're right, right. So like, but remember that I am remembering. Let us remember that dude with the big neck thing. Like, what was wrong with his neck? I don't think he was in the sequel. I think he must have died from cancer or something. I don't know that guy. Like, it wasn't like monster makeup. He was just supposed to be a normal dude, like the father-in-law, I think he was. And he just had this huge growth on his neck. Cool movie. I love that movie. And the Bride of Frankenstein, I like even better. I like what Professor Pretorius. That guy was great. Yeah. I mean, it tracks. It figures you would like that character. right? Because he's weird. Like he's just out there kind of humor and weirdness in a horror movie, just kind of campy. But yeah, anyway, James Whale, fabulous director. Anyway, I think I don't know what time it is. I don't know how long we've been talking, but probably long enough. I think we're gonna call that an episode. I do too. Thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it, and we'll talk again later. Yeah, we'll talk again. It was good having this chat. It's been too long. But anyway, so if you enjoy this, if you enjoy the insanity that I put forth on my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. I would love to get 26 subscribers to maybe even 27 in honor of my annual 27th birthday that I inherited from my paternal grandfather. 27 subscribers would be fantastic, and I've never had that before. Um, I'm crossing my legs under the desk. I don't know why. I had to lift up my foot, but I'm rambling. That's what I do. So, yeah, so subscribe if you will, if you are so kind and so inclined. It makes me feel famous and loved. If you want to check out my writing, which I discussed a little bit there, go to glennslade-clark-jr.com. That's where you can get links to all of my novels, my short fiction, the serial novel we mentioned, I mentioned precious. The Chronicles of Nightfire, Texas is up there, where you can read it for free. That's the idea, which I'll get into in my next vlog episode. I'll talk more about what happened with that, because it was supposed to be a Kindle Vella series. It is not. It's straight on my website. So you can go there, read yourself a serial novel with monthly installments. And yeah, so that's me. I have a podcast I do with my roommate Matt Paul called Autodidactica. Love that one too. We have some really deep conversations about hot topics generally. So you can check that out. There are links on my website too, glennslade-clark-jr.com. I'm done plugging myself. So until next time, goodbye. I guess, is that the way to, that's not the way I want to end the video. Just have a nice life. No, that's not it either. Like, why don't you just turn off the camera? Well, that would seem rude. I'm not a mean girl. I'm just gonna turn off the camera. Anyway, thank you for your support. And if they don't lock me up after this one, I'll see you in the next one.